much more aware of, where children are being basically raped by senior people in positions of...
There's an important process that happens here.
Yeah.
It's about wrecking the psyche of the child. There's a reason for that in terms of control.
When a small child is raped, this sets off some kind of reaction in the brain. The trauma happening in the lower part of its body travels up the spine through the nervous system to some part of its brain and either opens up or closes down certain faculties and creates a huge trauma, which then causes the brain to go into sort of seizure mode and create a division within itself between the experiences it's being experienced and then having to go on and live sort of normally after the experience. So a sort of seal or barrier is brought up in the brain to seal off that unpleasant, that acutely traumatic experience.
Which can lead to alternate personalities and control mechanisms.
So you get basically the possibility that a person who's suffered that trauma then develops what's called a split personality, and these are just sort of common terms in common parlance. But something else may be happening behind the barrier where the trauma resides. Could behind that barrier, which is sort of what you might call unsupervised territory within the brain, could be planted, however that happens, concepts or shall we say trigger words or trigger commands or whatever.
Well, I mean, we're now in MK Ultra and Project Monarch.
Yes, and I don't have the vocabulary to describe it, and I'm not in depth student of it.
I think cutting to the chase is it would seem that the logic of the situation is that any species, most species, doesn't normally go into such a vast amount of abuse of its own young.
No, it's unheard of in the animal world.
So well, I think there are some cases where the animal, a mother, or for some reason or other, they will eat their babies. They will eat,
yes. Even cats do that, but the kittens are in danger of not being looked after properly, so the mother will eat the kittens rather than... And in fact, even in the human level, we've had mothers who've actually killed their children rather than having them taken by social services. We do know of instances of that. But the scenario that I think you wanted me to speak about, which I want